What is up, Fanatics? It is 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and that means another episode of Home Theater Fanatics Live. Tonight is episode 138, and we have a monster of an episode for you. Joining us today, we have Kevin Mayne from Torus Power. And, well, first, Kevin, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Giles. Good
Thank
to see you.
Yeah, glad to have you. And, your company is one that I didn't know that I had heard of. And through our conversations, I realized that I had seen your product, but I didn't know it was your product at the time. And this actually was just a few minutes ago when we were talking about, what we're going to do in the episode. And you had me take a look at the Cedia Theater.
Yes.
And I remember seeing the power box there, right? And I was like, I don't know what's all in there, but that thing's really cool, right? Because they really showcase it, right? And, then the pieces started coming together for me.
It's always good when the pieces come together.
Absolutely. And for me, it happens so seldomly that it's when it happens, I'm like, oh, I did it. But I think maybe other folks are going to need a little help kind of putting the dots together as to who you are specifically, and then your company and what products that you guys make. So maybe you can start out with a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into the company.
Sure. Yeah. So, Kevin Mayne, and I'm with Torus Power. I kind of do a lot of different things at the company, from sales to production planning to raw materials sourcing. Kind of we're a pretty small company, Giles, and as a small company, we tend to wear a lot of hats.
Absolutely.
So I think everybody kind of chips in wherever needed. The company is based in Toronto, in Canada. And, we're making everything as much as possible in Toronto. There's a couple of things we do offshore, but it's pretty minimal. For the most part, we're doing, everything's hand built here in Toronto, and we're sourcing raw materials from locally here in Canada and from northeastern U.S. and some other areas in the U.S. But we're trying to keep it as much local as we can.
Oh, awesome! Right on.
Yeah.
And what do you guys make? I mean, so what is the thrust behind the company, right? Torus Power. Why is it called that? And
so
I think it all works together.
It does kind of work together. It all fits together like we had at the beginning of the show here. So the name came from the fact that what we build is a toroidal transformer. So hence the name Torus, and it's designed to supply clean power. So it's just kind of a natural to call it Torus Power. What we do is we make isolation transformers, and we'll get in and talk a little bit more in more detail about exactly what that is. But it's designed to provide clean power for a high performance audio video system, or an integration system, custom integration system. We do get into the studio space quite a bit as well. So providing clean power for studios is a big part of what we do. In the pro music arena a little bit. So, that's kind of how the name came about. We started doing this in 2004, 2005 was when we built our first products. And the background of the company is that we've been making transformers for a lot of the high-end audio companies, the notable audio companies that, Mark Levinson, Krell, Nelson Pass at Pass Labs, Bryston, Macintosh. So, that's kind of our pedigree, was making transformers for those companies. And, as the business grew and developed, we started to get into the power arena, the power side of things. And Torus Power started and started out pretty small and has been growing ever since then. So here we are some 15 years later, and we've got a kind of a cool little company here.
Oh, that's awesome. I can just see back in the day, years ago, there was somebody like me or similar, and they were talking with you or somebody similar, and they said, I really want one of these, but like really big, and I want to put all my devices through this thing. Can you make a Whopper? And somebody was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because a lot of our products that, the line's grown over the years, and that's how the line has grown is we'll have customers that'll come to us and say, this is what I need. Or we'll work with them and determine, okay, for the equipment that you have, this is the particular solution that you're going to need. And we don't have that right now, but guess what? We can make it for you.
We got parts.
We got parts. We've got engineering. We put it all together. We come up with the design, and then we roll out the product. And that ends up, becoming part of our ongoing product line. So, that's really how a lot of our larger solutions came to be over the years, was from working with customers and finding, an answer to their needs and providing the right product for them.
Right on. So let's, I think it'll help them if they can visualize this just a little bit. So I'm going to pop up your website here. So everybody should be able to see that now. And all right. So there's kind of the lower end, and not that it's lower end, but it's more kind of a residential product, small scale. And, these kinds of things, the Avr Elite, and this is something that, somebody would buy and stick into a rack kind of thing. Maybe in a little, under a television or something like that, if they're pretty hardcore. But I think what's really cool though, is when you step up into, these three here. So the floor mount series, the all-in-one series, and the wall mount series. And maybe we can just talk briefly about the wall mount series, because I think this is kind of the sweet spot, just from my limited knowledge, this is kind of the sweet spot for folks in the kind of enthusiast range. So these are people that will, build kind of a dedicated room in their home, and it could be a retrofit, or it could be, maybe if they're going hardcore full design, paying a lot of money, they would do like an all-in-one series. But for folks that already have general power in their location, this is really, really cool. So let me see if I can get this pulled up. Yeah. So can you kind of describe what's going on inside of the spots and what it's for?
Yeah. So this is a really cool solution that we make in the wall mount series. And, what you're seeing there is you're seeing this really large isolation transformer. And that's the heart of everything that we do. So
that's the big UFO saucer in the middle.
That's it. And that's in every product that we make. That's kind of what we do, who we are. And what that does is you've got different ways of kind of dealing with the power. So I think most people know in today's world that the power that's coming into the environment, the residents, it wasn't designed to do the things like we do today. I mean, if you go back, the power was designed to power lights and refrigerators and things like that.
Sure.
And most of in fact, I was thinking about it earlier today that I had a house in downtown Toronto that was built in 1916, and that house had actually, when we started to do some renovations on the house, we found out that the lighting in the house was originally gas piped lighting that went in there.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that was 1916 that the house was built. So really, not that long ago where there were homes without, electrical power coming into the house. So, when this all started, it was, power is designed for lights and for, the old ice boxes and things like that. It was never designed to power things like critical loads for sensitive electronic gear and things like that. So I think a lot of people know that power is not ideal. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of artifacts on the power line, and you really want to try to deal with that. So the isolation transformer, what we do is rather than just trying to filter out some of these noise and problems, is we're actually isolating the AV gear that would be connected to this. And we do it through an isolation transformer. So what that is you've got an incoming winding that's a copper winding that's wound around this transformer core. And the power comes in and it energizes the transformer core. And then you have what's called a secondary winding. And that's isolated from the primary, and it picks up the power and it outputs it to the electrical equipment that you're powering. So there's no physical connection between what's coming out of the wall and what's going to the, your audio, video, or your home theater system. You've kind of broken that connection. And what we do is we're making a a magnetic connection, so that we're able to electrically disconnect that power that's coming through. And that allows us to eliminate a lot of these problems and artifacts and noise that exist on the power line. So that's the core technology. And what that's going to do for you is there's really, 2 or 3 things that's going to do. The first is you're lowering the noise floor in the residence or at the location. So that's going to give you a lot more detail. Detail in the audio part of the whether it's music or a movie. You're going to get more detail there. You're going to get less noise on a video image. And that's because you've lowered the noise floor. But in addition to that, the transformer will actually provide dynamic power. So, you've got you're lowering the noise floor and then you're increasing the dynamics at the same time.
Does it act as a capacitor in some way?
It's not as a capacitor as much as let's say, a reservoir.
Okay.
Where, you've got the magnetics going on in the transformer, and it allows, because of our history with building transformers for all of the audio companies, we have a really good understanding on, what's required to power amplifiers. And we're, what we're essentially doing is we're not limiting any power that's going to the amplifier. It's getting what it needs. So it's going to have the full dynamic capability of the design of the amplifier. So you have this combination between, lower noise floor and then increased dynamics, and all of a sudden the whole sound stage changes.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And it's a revolution in terms of the change in the performance of the system. And that's the core technology of the isolation transformer. So that's that big donut that you see in the middle of that wall mount unit. But the cool thing about that wall mount unit is, if you've got a situation where maybe you have, some dedicated circuits that are running from your electrical panel to your theater, you can kind of drop this right in line and use this as a sub panel. And you've got one large transformer that would be spec'd to the right size for the system that you're running. And it can handle, the dynamics for the whole system. It'll, provide clean power. It just kind of gives you a really nice solution to power a big system or a theater. So these are pretty unique solutions that we have, and a very popular part of our lineup that started, like you said earlier on, this was kind of a custom build for us going back years ago, and now it's a real core part of our lineup.
Right on. And then, outside of the wall mount, you also have, the larger, full panels with with your technology built in as well.
Yeah. So this all-in-one series, this was a design concept by Arthur Kelm. And if anybody knows Arthur, Art's he spent his entire life building out studios and powering and grounding for studios. And for many years, Art was the VP of engineering for Capitol Studios in LA. So this was a design that Art brought to us and said, "Hey, I want to make it. I want to use your transformer." And we worked with Art and started building this particular series of product called the All-in-One. So it's got a very high quality electrical panel built in, all copper bus bar. Just a great solution with a large isolation transformer. And the real beauty of this is if you're running electrical outlets to different points in the residence or different points in the system, you can do it all from this one panel, and it's really easy. It's easy to give this to an electrician and have him go at it and run all the wires that you need.
So from an electrician's point of view, this is probably no different than just a regular panel, right? Because the transformer is just, that's kind of on the back end, right? And you just have your input feed and they cable that in, and then they put in the breakers going out and they're done, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the incoming power goes through the transformer, then out to the breakers, and they're done. It's very easy for an electrician to install. And of course, these solutions that we're looking at, when you get into these bigger solutions, these are all using either 240 volt incoming power or 208 volt, depending on
Three phase.
The residence, or 3 phase. or in some, even some larger applications, like the CEDIA, that CEDIA system, that was 480 volt power coming in there.
Oh, they got 480 running into
480.
that?
Yeah,
Holy
because
smokes.
that's a commercial building.
Right on. So let me see if I can get there. So under news and more, we've got
Installation gallery up top.
Yep. And then I can scroll down because this is a beautiful, they have done such an amazing job on their
Yeah,
implementation.
there's the panel there.
Yeah, and I like it with the LED lights on. And is that your silhouette?
That could be.
It could be me as well.
Busted.
But look at that. That's just a work of art. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. That's industrial design at the top of its game.
Yeah, this is a great theater. Dennis Erskine did this, and he did just a wonderful job of building out this theater. And for us, it's kind of a little bit of a feather in our cap to be selected as to supply power to the CEDIA reference theater, which is kind of the reference for our industry. For those that don't know, what CEDIA is, that's the Custom Electronics Design and Installation Association. So it's kind of like our core industry group. So,
absolutely, yeah. And they put on a trade show every year that was happened not too long ago. It's a wonderful show. If people like this kind of stuff, home theater, power, pretty much anything. It's a really good show. And if you look, as far as the equipment list goes for this theater, you're in really good company. A Barco Loki projector, Stewart Film Screens. You got you guys, Trinov, All Procella. This is this is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, and we like being in that company, and for what we build, we kind of feel like that's where we belong. So
absolutely, I agree. And I think what's great about this is, if people if they want the technology, but they don't have a dedicated room, right? They don't necessarily have space and they don't want to bring an electrician in. You have products for that, right? There's the residential stuff. They can buy a box, shove it in, and, get the advantage that your technology brings in their small system. But when you need to scale up, you can, like you said, scale all the way up to commercial power, step down and go crazy with the cheese whiz.
That's it. Yeah, no, we have your typical 120 volt solutions, and for us it's really more driven by the size of the transformer. So one of our more popular solutions for an audio enthusiast or a smaller, more modest system would be like a 20 amp transformer. So you've got a 20 amp dedicated circuit, you've got a 20 amp transformer, and you might be running a little home theater system or a 2-channel audio system, maybe with a couple of power amps or something like that. So and those are great solutions. We do smaller solutions than that, and then of course some of the bigger stuff that you've already shown them, Giles.
Yeah, and I think you're getting right into that sweet spot. The single 20 amp circuit up to maybe 2 or 3 for an average size home. Really, really sweet spot. So let's say hi to some folks here real quick. Hi-Fi Haven is here with us rather. Hey man. Double A's with us. Still only 2 A's. Hoping he makes 3 one of these days. My Mail is with us. Joey Peacock. He works for Indie Audio Labs, and that's Accurus and Aragon.
Yeah.
And he was at CEDIA earlier this year and got to see the theater, and he was very enamored with it. And I'm sad I was going to see it at CEDIA at the show, but I wasn't able to make it due to the woes that are going on. So I missed it. But Joey had a question. He said, have Kevin talk about the RM60. I don't know what that is, but he's curious about the RM60.
Hey, Joey. So, yeah, and I know I'm sure I know Joey. I've talked to Joey before. And so the RM60 is very similar to what you were showing before with that wall mount, but it's in a rack mount configuration. So you've got a rack mount piece. If you go back to the website,
RM, rack mount.
Yeah. So if you go back to the website, you see the product series, and then you go to the RM series. I think we may have a picture of the RM60.
Oh, there it is.
So there it is with the 3 power switches on it. So that that's a typical rack mount type of a unit. where you're bringing in a 240 volt feed to this, a 30 amp 240 volt feed from your main electrical panel, and you've got 3 20 amp output circuits, hence the 3 power switches there. And you can run a pretty good sized system from that. That's the back of the RM20 there. The RM60's got a few more outlets on the back of it. But
and so this is the one I'm showing now. Is this the 20? Oh no, that's the
15. That's an
15.
RM15, the one that you've got. There's the RM60 there.
Okay, I got you.
I don't think there's a picture of the rear panel on there of the RM60, but yeah. So it's just a great solution for somebody that's got a nice high performance system. You need 320 amp circuits to run the system, and you've got it all in one box with one isolation transformer. And the beauty of that is you're using a 60 amp transformer for the whole system, so you've got great dynamics. Everything's running on the same ground plane, same phase of the electrical, so you've got everything kind of in the right sweet spot for the performance of the system.
Right. And I really like this RM20. I think this hits the sweet spot for a lot of people, because it looks like you've got a single 20 amp, what is it, 110 input, or 120 input.
120 volt input, 20 amp circuit. Yeah.
Yep. That right there. You got to sell these things like hotcakes.
That's probably our number one selling unit there.
Yeah. That's absolutely spec'd right. And then just take it and put it on a shelf at the bottom of your cabinet. And this fills the need for 75% of the enthusiasts out there, something like that. Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
For sure. And I mean, that's the kind of thing we sell that every day.
Yeah.
So, that's a good piece for us. But, one thing that I would like to mention, because, we're talking about isolation and kind of just want to talk for a moment about some of the differences, because you've got kind of the category is known as, power conditioning. And, conditioning is really when you're filtering the noise and that on the power line. But, for us, the isolation is the real game changer, where we're, isolating that electrical circuit. We're not passing through all of the noise and artifacts that exist from the incoming power line. And that makes a big difference to the, to the power. And, we do get into also dealing with voltage regulation as well, where, in some cases you may have a lot of fluctuations in the voltage. So, there are some areas around the country where it's pretty well noted that, the voltage is bad. And I'm thinking like Cape Cod or Beverly Hills, a lot of the areas where you've got an older infrastructure, but you've got a lot of new development that's happened, or a lot of rebuilds that have happened on that older infrastructure. And you get lots of voltage irregularities. I mean, I know a lot of areas in Texas are known for that. So we make a line of products with voltage regulation. We call them the AVR products. For us, it stands for automatic voltage regulation. I apologize for everybody out there that knows it as an audio video receiver. But what we do is we make a multi-tap transformer, which is kind of cool. So, the way that a transformer works is if the primary winding and the secondary winding are the same size and length, then the input voltage and the output voltage will be the same. But you can vary or change the output voltage with the length of the winding, the size of the winding. So if you make, for example, these units where we've got 240 volts coming in and 120 volts going out, we're doing that stepping down in the transformer by the size of the winding. So with an AVR unit, what we've got multiple points where we go into the input winding, and we can change the size of the input winding in relation to the output winding. So we can step up or we can step down the voltage, which is kind of cool. So we've got these AVR units where you can run from a range of 85 volts to 135, and it'll output 120 volts plus or minus 4. And it'll work within that really wide range. So if you've got problems going on and you're really out of spec on the voltage, we can help fix that. And, of course, the performance is going to make a huge difference when you're fixing that type of a problem, but also the reliability of the equipment. If the equipment's dealing with problems with the voltage over a long period of time, it can cause some real problems. So it really helps with the reliability as well.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a little chart talking about that now, and there's the model called the North American, which has 120-volt input, and the range for that is 90 to 130. So that's a lot. That's 40 volts of variance.
Yeah.
And then the operable input range is 85 to 135, which is 50. And then that regulates to 116 to 124, 120 plus or minus 4 volts.
Exactly.
Just could you imagine having 85 to 135 volt swings, and this device keeps you humming right along. And not only that, but on top of that, you get surge removal and complete protection, right, against lightning strikes and that kind of stuff. And Joey was asking about that as well. Do you get that surge protection again in all the models, or is it just an AVR feature?
No, so the surge protection is a standard thing for us. I mean, being in this category, it's kind of, that's something you need to be offering. And, we do it through a variety of different methods for surge protection. So most of the lineup has series mode, what's called series mode surge suppression. In our design, that's on the output side of the transformer. So we have an advantage over everybody that doesn't have a transformer, that we can use the transformer to act as a protective device for surges and spikes that are coming in. So the transformer kind of acts as a buffer. The series mode surge module is on the output side of the transformer, and that'll capture and dissipate any surges. It'll last forever. It doesn't, it never gets blown up. It's just, it's an ongoing protective device in there. When you get into the voltage regulation units, now you've got that added layer of protection against the out of range voltage, because Giles, there's different types of surges that you're going to see. There's a lightning strike, which is,
this is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's your catastrophic type of surge. But, what about, when something happens at the utility and all of a sudden you've got, 180 volts going into the system instead of, 120. I mean, that type of a surge event can happen as well. Or, what if you've got a generator and, the generator kicks in and you've got that really ugly period where, the generator's starting up before it really settles down. So those are different type of surge events. And that's why we use some different technologies. So in that wall mount piece, we've got an additional second transient voltage surge suppression device on the input side. And then with the AVR units, those are regulating the between 85 and 135. And if it goes outside of that range, it'll automatically shut the unit down. And then when the voltage comes back within a safe range, it'll turn it back on again.
Right on. Yeah, that's cool. So, I come from an IT background, and we have to deal with this stuff in data centers quite a bit.
Yeah.
But for us, we typically will handle this with a battery back system. So, all the power is charging batteries, and then we pull everything off that with a voltage regulator system. That it takes up a huge amount of space, and it is prohibitively expensive. I think this is an amazing solution for a home-based theater or even a commercial theater. And a lot of people are, they're chasing down, how can I protect my system? How can I improve my sound? How can I, do these kinds of things from a legitimately scientifically sound point of view, right? So, to everybody that's watching the show right now, if you want to improve the resilience, the sound quality of your system through electricity, don't go out and spend $20,000 on cables. Buy one of these and put this in, and this is going to give you so many benefits that you wouldn't get from something that I don't consider to be as robust a solution.
Yeah, it's.
I know you're like, yeah, I don't want to get into that conversation.
Well, no, it reminds me of a funny story, and it was. In my early days with Torus Power, and I was talking to Henry, our lead engineer, and I was asking Henry, I said, so Henry, changing the power cable, is it going to make a difference in the Torus power unit? Will it actually change the sound? And Henry right away was like, no, because, we're doing all the isolation after that cable that goes from the wall to our unit. So no, it's not going to do anything. So I went away and then I don't know, a while later, I was traveling with our distributor in the UK, and at the same time that we were talking about Torus Power to the customers there, he was also launching a cable line, and we were doing a lot of A/B demos, and we were doing an A/B demo with Torus Power unit, but also changing the cable, and I could hear a difference.
Really?
I could hear a difference with the other cable. So
on the input side, so before it gets to the transformer.
Yeah. So I, when I got back home, I went to Henry. So Henry, here I am traveling in the UK, and we're doing these demos, and we're A/Bing these cables, and I could hear a difference between, the different cables that we were plugging into the Torus power unit. And he looked at me, he says, yeah, of course you can. So I just kind of walked away from that one wondering, okay, what did I miss?
I think that is probably an episode all for itself. But for this episode, it's time for us to move on to segment number 2. And we're kind of encroaching on the time for that one already, but we are now going to field the tech question of the week. So today, for the tech question of the week, we've got Kevin with us from Torus Power. And the question today is, how do you spec a transformer for a theater system, and why would you want one anyway? So how do we deal with that?
So that's a good question. And speccing, I think we might have touched on a little bit of this, but we really want to look at a few things when we're speccing an isolation transformer for a theater. So the first thing is we want to look at the wiring in the location. What exists there now? What is it that we're working with? Do we have dedicated circuits? Do we not? Do we have access if we need to run new circuits? Then we go on to the equipment list. So what is the total demand, the load demand of all of the equipment that's going to be running in that theater? So, what are the amplifiers that are running? What are the power supplies in those amplifiers? What is their maximum power consumption? What's their 1/8 power? I mean, we look at all these specs, and we calculate a number for, this is the number that you're going to need in terms of power delivery for the system. That it could be, we could be looking at a special situation with a projector. Let's say we've got somebody that's got a big Barco projector, and that might create, a different situation because, Barco it runs between 200 and 240 volts is the specified range for Barco. But it's not uncommon for voltage in North America to come in, 5% above 240. So
right.
That's not going to be real desirable for the Barco. So, we look at all of that. We look at the number of circuits. What is the electrical coming in from the utility at that location? Is it 3-phase power, which is becoming more and more common in these larger homes? Is it split phase 240 volt? Is it 480? Like, what is the power coming in, and how do we have to deal with that? And then from that, we come up with a solution, and we'll typically offer a good, better, best type of a scenario where here's the right solution for that home theater system to run it the way that it to give it the right power, so it's going to operate the way that it's designed to operate. We offer this as a courtesy for anybody. You can just go onto our website, and on our website you'll see, if you want to have us do a load calculation for your system, all we ask for is the specification of so we just want the make and model of all the equipment that's going to be running in the system. Mm-hmm. And from that, we'll do all the legwork. Sometimes we have to, get in touch with the various manufacturers to get the specs because they're not always readily available. But we'll do all the legwork and come back and say, okay, here's what you need. And, I think that's overlooked today in terms of when people are designing systems or installing systems where they're just expecting to be able to plug in the power and everything's going to work fine without really looking closely at what the need is. What does the system really need? So that's the way we approach it. Is we get down and dirty with the specs. We look at all these power supplies and figure out, okay, this is what you're going to need to deliver the right power for the system.
That's outstanding. No, that's really cool. And it sounds like pretty much, independent of what anybody might have, you guys will be able to scale all the way down or all the way up and come up with a solution for even the largest home theater system.
Yeah. The largest product that we make is what we call our floor mount series. And that's a, 700-pound isolation transformer that stands about 5.5 feet tall.
Wow.
So, that'll power, a pretty large, cinema, media room, a pretty large installation. And, of course, there may be times where people need more than one of those, and we're happy to help them out in those cases.
And if you buy them in packs of 10, there's a 10% discount. Could you see the transfer trucks just showing up? Here's your 8 tons of toroidal transfer. So that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, so. All right, Kevin, I think we have kind of hit the end of the road on our time here. I am completely fascinated by this, and this is an aspect of my theater that I really haven't considered before. And I think, I and a lot of people watching today will be very interested in learning more. So I'll make sure that links to your site are, in the notes for this video. So, give me some time after the video airs, and I'll make sure everything gets in there. So people can check out there. If, what's the best way to contact you guys if someone does need to chat?
So just through the website, toruspower.com, TORUS power.com. And all of our contact information is on the website. Awesome. So if you want to contact, myself directly, or Ross or any of the team, the contact information is right there. So they can, you can just contact us directly, and we're happy to field any questions, to talk about our technology, to talk about, system plans or system design with anybody. I mean, that's kind of the fun part of what we do is, getting to learn about some of these cool systems that people are doing and talking about it, and, sometimes seeing some pictures and stuff like that. I mean, that gets us going in the morning when we get to do that.
Absolutely. And for me, it's getting me going here in the evening. So that's awesome. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's late where you're at, so I really appreciate you staying up a little bit for us tonight to join all of us. And I know it's been a great bit of education for me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Giles. It's been great to be part of this.
All right, Kevin, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. And with that, it's time for the next segment of the show. I got to get my sound ready. Okay, here we go. Everybody, are you ready for the fun? Are you ready for the good times? Well, I am. Now, let's take a break and stroll down to a cozy little place I like to call Content Corner. This is where we talk about all the cool content we love to consume, and we have a lot to talk about today. And joining us, we have a very special guest, and that guest is Mike from Audio Arkitekts. Oh, hold on. I got to get my other button. Oh, you're supposed to say something, Mike.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We got you.
All right, cool.
Welcome.
What's up, buddy?
How's everything going?
Good. Hopefully I won't be having the issues I was having last week. I think we may have just been exercising the bandwidth a little too hard with all 4 people in there, but
it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah, I'm here. I got some.
You're looking good. I mean, you're not choppy, and your sound's coming through well, and it's not choppy.
Cool.
Right on.
So what's up, everybody? I'm Mike with Audio Arkitekts.
Miggity, Mike.
For those that don't know, and
miggity.
I am here to talk content with Giles. Content Corner.
Stu, welcome to the show. Mayne, I don't think I said hi yet. Hey. Cruising RSX. Hey, I think I hit everybody else, but Mike, yeah, I'm glad to have you here again. And there's some things that you wanted to talk about that are coming up that you're excited about.
I added a few more to the list, so that way there's 5 things on the list I want to talk about, and 2 out of the 5 you already know what they are. So
I can guess 2 off the top of my head.
I say we go ahead and let everybody know this week. Giles and I are going to go see Dune on Thursday night at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm. We're actually going to pay to go to someone else's theater to watch a movie. It's going to be that good.
Because why not?
Yeah.
There's only a few movies I'm going to do that for. It's going to be Dune and Ghostbusters this year. Maybe Eternals. Not sure yet. Eternals
I'm already looking at tickets.
Looks okay. Looks good. Oh, okay. So, Giles, are you stoked about Dune?
Oh, dude, I'm so incredibly stoked about Dune. I mean, I you see behind me, those are books. So everybody, those aren't Blu-rays or anything. Those that's paper. Well, I've got every Dune book that's been published thusly, and I've read them all, and that's a lot of Dune action going on, especially when you consider Frank's son. Continued and is carrying that torch on. So yeah, I'm super excited. And I wish that we could get to, a series that would, somebody making these films that can get past the first book.
Right.
Because I want to go all the way through. I want to see movies about the robot wars or whatever it was called back in the day, and how did the Mentats come around, and how did the Spacing Guild and the Navigators be created, and how did the Bene Gesserit and the breeding program come into place, and what about Ix or I, that the planet Ix, IX, because it was the 9th one, who knew, and all kinds of stuff. So dude, there's so much stuff that I would love to see covered, and it's exciting that we at least get a taste of it.
Agreed. Speaking of prequels, I just saw the teaser trailer for House of Dragon, which is the Game of Thrones prequel that took place 200 years before the fall of the king. So
it's about the Targaryens, right?
Right. Very excited. Looks really cool. It looks like they're using a lot of up-and-comers. So I'm excited to see that. Because I know a lot of us got attached to the characters from the original Game of Thrones. I'm hoping this could have the same effect, So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Is J.R.R. Tolkien? Is George R.R. Martin involved in this? Do you know if he's?
I don't know.
It would be interesting if he were.
It's a shame though that they couldn't finish the series of Game of Thrones the way George R.R. Martin could have potentially wrote it, but they went so fast that they finished they finished telling the story before he could finish writing the books. So the writers for Game of Thrones, I think it was season 6 or 7 where they were just kind of winging it at that point. So
yeah, well, I don't think it's that the TV show went too quickly. I think it's Martin wrote too slowly, because he had 7 years to figure out how to finish a couple of books, right?
He did.
And he's like, nope. I love him, but damn it, dude, what are you doing? Hook a brother up.
Just to kind of, I see what AA's comment. Dune Part 1 ends abruptly. I heard. I expect it to, because it's reliant on a second one to finish just the first book. So we'll see how that goes down. I think I am going to leave kind of angry. It's luckily Giles and I are going to be doing a live stream afterwards to kind of let everybody know our initial reaction.
Yeah. So we're going to rush home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to schedule that so I can get it publicized.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another one, the new Batman trailer. At first I was like, okay, benefit of the doubt. New actor, new everything. let's see how it's gonna work. However, just from what I've seen on the new Batman trailer, it looks awful. I think it looks awful. I think it's a failed attempt to kind of bridge the Dark Knight and what's his name, Keaton's character. You know, the Tim Burton series and Dark Knight kind of put together. So it has that noir feel to it, you know. But I felt they picked the wrong Batman for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to show some pictures of stuff from the movie. What it's going to look like.
Now, AA, let me address AA real quick. Ben Affleck wasn't great, but I just don't feel Robert Pattinson fits the bill for really any type of Batman that I've seen in comics or in any kind of media. I don't know. I could be wrong. This could be an awesome movie, so don't take my word for it. I have not seen it yet, but just from that last trailer, the first trailer was really cool because it left you kind of like, whoa, this looks like a dark, gritty, real serial killer type of thing. And then now it's kind of like, ugh, God, really?
Check out this picture.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's Affleck, right, on the right hand side of this one.
Yes. Which I wasn't too excited about Affleck doing it. Which brings me to my next segment. The Flash. The Flash has a teaser. The Flash movie has a teaser. And spoiler alert, before you guys put your fingers over your ears. The teaser on The Flash teases Michael Keaton returning as Batman and teases the Batmobile, the original Batmobile. So Michael Keaton as an older Batman, of course.
Check that out.
So yeah, that was supposed to go down. Yeah. I'm excited.
I don't know if this is legit or not. It's just maybe somebody made a picture.
Well, Keaton originally was supposed to be in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover in the DC TV universe. However, it ended up being God, what is his name? I actually met the guy too, Kevin Conroy. So, who does the original voice for the Batman cartoon on TV. So, which is fine, but I don't know why Keaton pulled out of that deal. They tried to get as many people in that crossover as possible from all of the different properties. Like they had the guy from Smallville as Superman. They had Brandon Routh return as Superman from Superman Returns. They had not Adam West, but the guy that played Robin next to him. They had him do a cameo. So it was really interesting to see that crossover, and which brings me to my next segment. The Flash TV show on, I think, November 17th, I think it is. They're doing their next crossover, which is called Armageddon. And they're once again bringing everybody together. It's going to be a 5-part event, 5-episode event.
Wow. Dude, I don't know anything about this DC stuff at all on television.
Oh, dude, I think the shows themselves are decent. They recently got rid of Arrow. I think the guy was just done doing it. And I think this might be the last Flash season, because I think the actor's also kind of done with it. But, dude, I think this looks... I saw the crossover preview. Oh, dude, it looks so good. So they're bringing in Black Lightning. They're bringing in, Brandon Routh as Superman again. They're bringing in everybody again. So I'm excited to see that. Now, which brings me to my last, and then you can have the floor.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about now. This is exciting.
The Ghostbusters International trailer blew my face right off. Tell me what you thought.
You said that without even cursing. Well done.
Well, because I know we're live right now.
Well done.
I would have done it with cursing had we not been live.
His effing face off.
What did I say?
I agree. Let me see if I can find a picture here of this. So, Ghostbusters.
It's the international trailer that dropped today. Dude, you didn't see it? You didn't watch it?
No, I didn't see it.
I gave you homework and you
No, I failed. I got the show together though. All right, so let's look at some pictures to help people understand what's going here. All right, so I don't know. I just Googled Ghostbusters. Excuse me.
Google
International-
Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love the actors they picked for it.
All right, so here are the kids, right?
Right.
Right on.
So as far as I could surmise, they're living. These kids are Egon Spengler's grandchildren, right? And it's Egon Spengler's daughter is the mother. I'm guessing.
And who's the dude? What's his face?
Paul Rudd. I'm thinking he's kind of like the Lewis Tully of this movie. You know, like the comedic relief, which is cool. However, there that picture right there is Ivan Reitman, the original director of Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and to the right of him is Jason Reitman, who's his son, who's directing this one. So I'm glad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he passed the mantle over to his son. Now, what looks amazing about this is that it just feels like Ghostbusters again. You know, it has that Ghostbuster feel to it. And
Are they bringing this guy back? The original Ghostbuster?
they're bringing all three of them back. Yeah. So,
oh,
yeah, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray will be in this movie, and Annie Potts, who was their secretary. Remember? So I don't expect them to have a huge.
Is Sigourney Weaver coming back?
I don't know. That I don't know. I haven't checked. You know, I haven't checked IMDb, but they've recently been like leaving stuff out of IMDb just to prevent spoilers and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how that pans out.
I'm a huge fan of Sigourney Weaver. So if she's in the movie, I'm going to freak out.
Dude, I think we're definitely going to see. I'm predicting that we're going to see a Gozer come back. I think Gozer's going to be a part of this situation. And originally I thought Paul Rudd was going to be positioned as the next generation of Ghostbusters, but it's actually these kids who are going to be putting on the proton packs and going to work, you know?
Right.
So I'm excited about this.
Oh, dude, I'm looking forward to it as well. Yeah, dude. I mean, are they trying to get some of the vibe that was caught by Stranger Things?
Well, they're using one of the kids from Stranger Things, so
there you go.
Mike from Stranger Things is in it, so that should tell you. I think they are. I think they're playing on that. Just think about it. Ghostbusters happened in the 80s, right?
Yep.
They bring back this nostalgic 80s movie using like relevant child actors. They're trying to appeal to the new generation and bring them back into the whole Ghostbusters phenomenon that happened when, you know, you and I were young.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, when you were young and I was not as young,
right? Because you and my brother are the same age, and he was he was probably 9 or 10 when it came out.
This is what, 83, 84?
It came out in 82, 83. Yeah. So it was
so I'd have been 10.
I was just barely born. So yeah. I was more around for the second one. I was like maybe 4 or 5 for the second one. But yeah, man, I think we're going to have a very, very nice holiday season for movies. I think Eternals has potential. What do you think?
Well, the Eternals has some of my favorite actors in it, and so let me pull up the Eternals.
Well, I bet the first one you're going to pull up is that Asian girl from
Gemma Chan,
Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah,
Gemma. She was in that robot movie where she was human.
Mm.
And let me share this out, and which is a great television show, and if you haven't seen that, you should check that out. But I mean, look at this cast. We
can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it? Can I
enlarge it?
What is this? I can't enlarge it. Well, maybe you can see this a little bit. So
for sure, Rob Stark and Jon Snow are in it, which I think is rad.
Right. Yeah.
They're both coming back from Game of Thrones to do this movie.
That's funny.
Angelina Jolie, of course.
Yeah, she plays Thena.
Mhm.
Cersei is Gemma Chan. I can't remember the name. This guy who plays Kingo. I can't remember the actor's name, but I like him. Who is it? Come on. Does it not show? It says he's male. He's Indian. Okay. I guess this isn't about the actor. This is just about the character.
Right.
But no, and the movie's gonna be like 2.5 hours long or something crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be it's long. Super long.
Right on.
But yeah, I'm very Selma Hayek's gonna be in this.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah, they got a good cast, I think.
How can you go wrong? You can't.
I wonder if it's going to be available for streaming.
No,
on like Disney Plus or something.
No, I would almost certainly say no.
Or for the $30 or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go to the theater. I'm already looking at pictures. I'm looking at tickets. I'm trying to decide between the Atmos Theater or the IMAX, and so maybe Thursday, if we get there a little bit early, we can stick our heads in the IMAX theater and see what it looks like.
Well, I went and saw Venom 2 at the IMAX at the same theater.
Oh, okay, right, because it's right next door to the Dolby.
It's big. The sound quality was a letdown, though.
How was the seating?
Like normal.
It's not like recliner chairs and stuff.
No.
Oh, okay, all right. So that's
why, dude. The missus was all pissed off because she's like, I wanted the reclining chairs, and I'm like, well, shit. I thought the IMAX was the one with the best of the best everything. We just paid like an arm and a leg for these tickets, and all it really is a big screen.
Dude, I'm going all in. The boys are getting popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get milk duds.
I'm gonna get my nachos,
and I might get milk duds and a nachos if they have jalapenos.
Dude, why don't we just bring our own jalapenos? We'll sneak them in.
True, we could.
What kind of now we're like? Now I'm embracing my true Mexican.
You're so bad. No, I need chopped up jalapenos that come out of the jar. When they come out of the big bucket, this big, where you can dip them out.
Yeah, well, I remember when I used to work at theaters, they used to have them in this like little Lexan with the little tongs.
Yeah.
You just grab them and just put it. But because of COVID, I'm sure they've ex-nayed Tongue, but
right. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Maltesers. What are you, a Canadian? Maltesers is a Canadian thing.
I think this theater has a laser projector in it too.
Hey, hold on. I gotta show AA something real quick since he's eating Maltesers. Hold on.
I don't even know what a Malteser is, but I'm gonna have to check that out. Apparently, Mike knows what the Malteser is. And then you said before the movie going back to Ghostbusters is releasing 2 days before Harold Ramis's birthday, which is kind of cool.
All right. Well, I just saw your thing. Tell your wife to be jealous because I got Wonder Bars and Crunchies over here. Wonder Bars.
What are those?
This is Canadian candy, dude. My girlfriend's mom brought it over from Canada. She brought a ton of it. And tell your wife that I have like a freaking box full of Swiss chalet sauce, different types, gravies, all sorts of good shit. So
you're gonna get candied up.
Yeah, the Crunchies is good. It's like a honeycomb toffee type thing. The Wonder Bar is kind of like it's almost kind of like a peanut butter caramel Snickers type deal. I don't know. They're both really good. So I'm all Canadianed out here.
But
cool. Hey, quick plug, guys. I am on a war path to sell some t-shirts. So this is one of my new designs that I have on my website. So if you go to www.audioarkitekts.com/store, you can see all the new designs I have. I have a whole new fall line, and it helps out my channel. It helps me out. And honestly, I just like seeing, like people wear stuff that I created out of
your things.
out of my mind. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and I've seen your designs, and they're pretty cool. They're nifty.
Thank you.
It almost inspired me to try and make some of my own, but then I said, nope, not doing it. Can't do it. It's
Oh,
not gonna happen.
I want to ask you, the crowd, has anybody seen the movie Amelie? Amelie? Amelie. Have you seen it, Giles?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, so I also have a musical situation going. I have a new album that just came out, but I also just dropped a new single that covers, I can't for the life pronounce the name of this song because it's in French or something, and I don't want to butcher it. But I released the main song from the movie in I'd say 9 Inch Nails Mogwai type of feel to it. So the FLAC is available also on my website.
So, Mike, send me the links that you want, and I'll put them in the
Sure.
notes here. But I don't have all the links. Send me all your links.
Cool, and it will be available on Spotify on not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday in November.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's all the gratuitous, shameless plugs I wanted to do for today.
Well, let's do shameless plugs, and I'm going to talk about the upcoming episodes. So some episodes of note that are coming up. We got SVS on November 2nd, Storm Audio on November 9th. Accurus, Aragon, India Audio Labs is going to be on November 30th. I'm not sure who's going to be in that episode. I don't know if Joey's going to be here or who.
I love those guys.
Oh, me too. They're my favorites. I use their gear every day. But then
dude, I wish I could, and I cannot wait. I know the time is coming, but I will have an Accurus situation in this.
If he could even name one of the Accurus products, it would.
Oh, dude, the M8, the Act 4, the which one's the one? Which one I always actually forget is the one that we've actually like reviewed together. It was the
Muse.
No,
the 2002.
Yeah, that's the A2002, right?
Yeah, the A2002 amplifier.
So,
but what I wanted to get to though is the big event of the year, which is December 14th, and that is the Christmas Spectacular stream. And I just put out the request to everyone, and maybe I'll name it the Holiday Spectacular stream since there's a war on Christmas. Who knows? I don't know, but it's the Holiday Christmas Spectacular stream, December 14th. This is going to be another giveaway type show. So I'm trying to line up a number of giveaways for everyone. And, we have a few things lined up. There'll be, something coming from GSG Audio. They're also going to be on the show November 23rd, talking about some of their new stuff they've got coming. They'll be giving something away.
I know they just moved into a new spot. So I saw the pictures. I'm pretty impressed.
Oh, they're ramping up for big production. They got a lot of stuff coming.
Gigs, yeah,
it's pretty cool. But they're giving away some stuff. Gonna have free tickets to go to Expona available. We're giving away a 18-inch subwoofer driver. I got at least one pair of headphones coming. Kaleidoscape is going to give away something, but they can't really give away one of their $6,000 units or $15,000 units.
As long as they give away those coasters again, I still use mine, dude, every day.
Dude.
Yeah, I have the same way. Yeah, I use mine on my desk. Yeah, every day.
So
every day.
I think it'll probably be another set of coasters for folks, but
hell yeah.
I mean, I
free coasters, dude.
I mean, dude, they're awesome. So I sent out notices to all the folks that I've worked with over the last year or so. Hopefully, people will get back to me over the next week or so, and we can kind of start firming up who's going to be here and, what kind of stuff we're going to have for everybody. And I'll be setting up a sign up this year where you can go sign up, and you don't have to be watching the stream to win. We'll just pick winners randomly. Although the grand prize, whatever that ends up being, likely will be won by somebody that's watching, that's live on the stream kind of thing.
Mhm.
But we'll have one of those signups where you can go visit my YouTube and you'll get 2 entries, and visit my other thing and you get some more stuff and blah, 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 all that kind of crap, right? So I want people to subscribe, but we're going to see how many folks jump in and how many giveaways that we have. Alcon's Audio is going to be back on that show, and I'm not sure what they're going to give away, but maybe it'll be gift cards again. Who knows?
Man, I haven't talked to Ortiz in a minute.
Yeah, so I sent her the email, and she's like, "Yeah, we'll do something," and they're thinking about it. So the idea is to make it as big as possible and super fun, and we won't have a featured guest that night or a content corner or anything. It'll just be, hopefully, every 10 minutes giving away something, or every 5 minutes giving away something, and hopefully it'll be bigger and better than last year. And I don't know, fingers crossed. If you have a company that you would like to see on there, reach out to them and ask them if they're going to be on the live stream and how they're going to participate. And if they have no idea what you're talking about, send them my contact information and I'll let them know what's up. But very excited for December 14th.
I remember last year's. You were pretty stressed out. You're like, this has to be on schedule.
Oh, dude, because there's so many, people coming in and out every 5 minutes.
I don't know if I would do that again. I don't know. Maybe.
As many people that want to come in and say hi, I want them to come in and say hi. What I'm going to do is make the process of identifying the winners easier, so that I'm not trying to do that all manually during the show. I need a automated way for a winner to be selected. So, I'm going to have that figured out a little more robustly before this happens, so that I'm not stressed out about that stuff. And as people come in and out, I can just click them through on the screen, and I'm not jumping around too much. Yeah.
I'll definitely hop in and donate something cool. I don't know.
Right on. Yeah, maybe one of your t-shirts.
Well, last year I did a pair of speakers.
Uh-huh.
So this year I think I might do a t-shirt and a CD combo, so that way people get my CD and a t-shirt. Maybe I'll do like a special run only for this event. That'd be kind of cool.
One of a kind, right? Signed.
Yeah, one of a kind. Well, I don't think anybody wants my autograph just yet.
Well, you can autograph a piece of paper and stick in it.
Right. Thanks for taking my free shit. Here you go.
You can throw this away if you want to, and it doesn't damage it. No, that'll be totally cool, and very appreciated. So Jason says maybe we can do something. If you buy, we meaning GSG. I've talked to Kevin, and Kevin's in, so he's totally.
Does Jason work for GSG, or what's going on with Jason?
Yeah, I think Jason's now an employee of GSG. I think that's the word on the street. Jason can let us know one way or another, but I do believe he is legit sales. I think. That's the scuttlebutt in any event. But GSG, one of my favorites. I've been working with those guys from the very beginning.
Look, he confirmed.
Yes, officially.
So Jason, when are you gonna start selling those Punisher cabinets so I can make some commission on that?
I keep asking, after the 500,000 views and 30,000 customers I referred to them, when I'll get a commission.
I know, right?
You know what my commission's been?
We've sold. We've probably sold 10 times the flat packs. Oh well, it's all in good fun though. I love Kevin to death, and Kevin's a great guy, and he's helped us out, and he's provided us with
awesome dude,
tons of stuff to make all sorts of crazy base machines. So, which I am kind of done doing any type of construction for right now. I'm running out of space. Like I'm trying to get rid of stuff. So, hey, if anybody lives in the Denver area and wants to buy a, what was it called? The hammer. I'm selling the hammer, or I'm going to part it out. Whatever you guys want, let me know. It's got a 12-inch Ultimax. It's wrapped in a snake skin vinyl, and it has a Bash 500 on the back, which I kind of want to just keep the Bash 500 and say, to everything else. But hey, it is what it is. It's just taking up a lot of space, and I don't have the space for it. I like small now,
Yeah, maybe we should have a section of what's for sale this week.
We
Like
should have a
I've got,
garage sale, like a garage sale section.
yeah, I've got gosh, 2 theater chairs, a power recline for sale. I've got a 117-inch AT silver ticket screen for sale. I've got a headphone amplifier, little small one for sale. So Cruising RSX. So it's going to be the same time as the normal show. So Tuesday, December 14th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. And I don't know what that translates to outside of the US, but that's all of the inside of the US stuff. So put it on your calendar. And it's, I'm super excited for that show. It's my favorite show of the year. I've done only one so far with Mike back in the day. But I'm happy for another one of these to be coming up here pretty soon. And we'll see how the participation is. Let me look at my emails real quick. So, okay, Cameron Black with Noid Communications, they're offering up, one of a number of different things, some Puro headphones or some Comfo Buds, earbuds, or a Q-Style M12 mobile hi-fi headphone amplifier. So they've got that. Alcons is doing the same prizes they offered last year. So Amazon shopping sprees of, I think, 3 different denominations. So Liz Smith from JD Events, who runs Axpona, 2 3-day passes to Axpona and 2 t-shirts as a prize. Brett says, Brett Bjorkist from Kaleidoscape, they're in with probably coasters.
I like that guy.
Yep. I found out that Paul Wilkie no longer works for Sound United when I sent him an email, and I got a bounce back. So,
that Giles, that's the funny thing about this industry, dude. It's like, and it's not very often. I've received an email not too long ago from, I think it was someone from Sinbison that doesn't work there anymore. And she's like,
Dan.
hey, yeah, Dan from Sinbison.
Yeah,
she's like, hey, it was a pleasure working with you guys, but I'm not going to be there anymore, going to a different company. She didn't really say what company, kept it super professional, and just said, here, from here on out, you can deal with this person or that person. And I think in our arena of what we do with reviews, with videos, with, written articles, I think there should be more transparency. And not to mention, I don't know, let me hear your opinion on this. Do you feel that companies should make their PR or whoever runs their marketing a little more accessible to people like us who just want to put their product out there and review it and embrace it and show the world and our audience what we think of it? Do you think that the lines are blurred there a little bit? Do you think it's kind of, because I found it kind of hard to get a hold of some companies, or have had to go from here to another buddy that knows another buddy that knows another buddy that knows that guy. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about that?
I think it should be as hard as humanly possible for anybody to create those relationships.
You really think so? You think people should really like jump through hurdles just to get a hold of somebody? I'm just saying get a hold of somebody. I'm not saying okay, because sealing the deal is a completely different thing. Because you got to sell yourself. You got to be like, hey, I can do this, this, and this. Check out my videos. And if then that aligns with what they got going on, then that's when the match is made. But dude, finding just an email address at this point has been impossible. So
I'm totally fine with it being as difficult as it possibly can be, because I know that I will go the extra mile to do what needs to be done to create relationships and make friends and meet people and that kind of thing. And the folks that don't, they'll just fall off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not looking for somebody to publish a list of,
I want a black book. I want a secret black book.
That's what experience and time does for you. Experience and time.
I guess.
Maybe that's my point of view.
Well, you're
my
the
budget.
email king, bro, though. Like you're the
I
email
don't know.
king.
I value all those personal relationships that I make with folks, and I think there's only one way to build those relationships, and that's time and trust and working together, and
I,
that.
no, I agree with that. I'm just saying I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm
No,
saying
I know you want to go to a website and it says,
no, I
"Hello,
don't want to. I want to go.
YouTube person,
Okay,
click this
okay.
link for their web for our marketing
I'm
person's
going to
email
give you an
address."
example. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say Giles has Giles Audio, and I go to gilesaudio.com, and I'm scrolling through, and I want to see a press or PR section at the bottom where we can just leave like a little note and say, "Hey, check it out." You know what I'm saying?
Well, that
That's what I'm
exists
looking.
for almost everything already. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
but
the contact us thing.
Joey, it's called LinkedIn. Actually, Joey, I'll tell you what. I have built 2 or 3 different relationships by using LinkedIn with major I'm not going to say who, but with major companies I've built just by reaching out to like account executives or account managers or sales managers on LinkedIn. And normally what they'll do is they'll be like, "Hey, I'm not the one you want to talk to, but it's that dude." And then the exchange is made. But yeah, LinkedIn's actually a really good resource. I don't know, Giles, if you've ever used LinkedIn for that, but
I've got like 5,000 connections on LinkedIn.
oh well, sorry.
I'm the LinkedIn master.
I don't know. I just feel kind of like dirty hitting them up on LinkedIn. I'd be like sliding into their DMs. "Hey, can you send me that sexy speaker over here, please? It's got some nice curves."
That's when you fall into it's another one of those damn YouTubers trying to get some free
Yeah,
crap.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do that either for the most part. I've had lots of companies send me the cold call emails that you see YouTubers sending out. "Hi, I'm YouTube channel XYZ, and I would love to review your product. Can you send me 6 of your double 18-inch subwoofers, please?"
Yeah. See, I think that's a bad practice too. I think getting to know the person and getting to know the company and honestly, I think the biggest asset to have is to have a plan going in. Have a plan going in with why you want to work with them and why they should work with you. And I think a lot of YouTubers out there that are just starting out kind of do the shotgun spray, and I'm totally guilty of the shotgun spray. When I first started, you know what I did? I took that little Cedia book that I had from Cedia, and I just started, everybody. I spammed everybody, and that's not the way to do it, But you live and you learn. You slowly grow in this ecosystem, and you learn stuff.
Yeah. So for me, it's all about relationships with people. If something comes out of that relationship, that's great. But ultimately, what I want to do is provide value to companies, and then also value to the viewer. And that's why I do this live stream, right? So not a lot of channels do, a very consistent live stream every week where they're bringing companies in. And I mean, they're not a lot that do this. But I like to do this because, I think this brings value to the guests that come on. And then for the folks that view live with us, it creates a sense of community. And I love to see everybody here every week. This is my favorite evening of the week for Home Theater Fanatics, bar none.
Giles, to be honest, I think you're one of the last ones left that do this.
Right, maybe so.
Well, I know
and
people
that's
have
good.
live streams, but you're one of the only ones, if not the only one, that brings a company on or some industry professional on every week. I tried to do it and I couldn't do it.
It's hard. It's hard to schedule this thing.
It's terrible.
It's tough. It's tough.
It made me regret leaving this live stream in the beginning.
Right on. Yeah, I mean it's pretty painful. And you had to spend a lot of time going through the episode and setting up the outlines and teaching everybody how to use the stuff. And hopefully I'll have a relationship with 150 companies that I can draw from, at any given time to keep the schedule full. But I'm still building those relationships, right? So, and I'm trying to get in with more and more companies, and I'm working my way through the ranks, right? And Sound United's a big one that I don't have any contacts with at all right now that I would like to have come on because they represent some.
We did though at one point.
We had those Marantz guys, but that's not. That's not what I'm looking for. That's 2-channel stuff. I really want home theater related things, right?
Marantz has home theater stuff. Come
Not
on.
those folks. There's like a whole different division.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Dude, there was just such and guys, the reason I'm laughing is because I was part of that whole thing, and we did this together. This is when Giles and I were boyfriend and girlfriend. He's my girlfriend. So
I'm small spoon.
So when we did this, there was such a language barrier that it was almost kind of uncomfortable, because it's like, I know they probably wanted to say a lot of stuff, and if we would have spoke their native tongue, I think it would have been like an incredible conversation.
What are you talking about? You're talking about Hi-Fi Rose.
No, wasn't Marantz from other countries?
No, they.
Yeah, I think one of them was like
no, they were fine. It's just that they had 3 people come on, and
or maybe it was Hi-Fi Rose. Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rose. They didn't speak any English at all. So that one was kind of tough. Marantz was good. I mean, it was their 2-channel stuff, which is great, and I enjoy it. But I would like to get in, and my only comment about that was I want to be able to cover the AVRs, video processors, and that kind of stuff, and because that's, I think, a little more applicable to the larger chunk of the audience that comes for this show. This isn't so much of the 2-channel purist kind of thing. Although I'm happy to. Like this AWA Marantz has home theater. My Chris.
just in case you guys didn't know. All right.
But,
hey, wait. Joey Peacock. I want to address something real quick with Joey Peacock. I want to congratulate Joey Peacock for being like one of the only human beings that engages and likes my content on LinkedIn. He's like one of the only ones that engages with my stuff on LinkedIn. And Joey, thank you, good sir. You're a champ. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
I appreciate he's genuinely a good guy.
No, he really is. Yeah, I'm really glad him and I connected on there as well.
Yeah, but to get back to the whole point, the show's hard to keep it full and keep it scheduled, and I want to build all those relationships, and so thanks for everybody for watching it. It's really cool, and I have a lot of fun doing this. It's my favorite thing. I'd rather do this than film videos, if that makes sense. I like to film the videos, but this is really cool.
Ever since I picked up the itch to start, my new way of doing my videos, I kind of enjoy it. I enjoy the process. I think the satisfaction of just like nailing out a video in a day is like, bro, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, you make something, right? And you did it all yourself. It's cool. I agree. I totally agree. But let's talk a little bit about videos. Well, let's get into the cleanup section of the, the show. So
I've been derailing you on purpose, of course.
Upcoming stuff. Mike and I will be watching Dune Thursday. Mm-hmm. We'll be streaming about it at probably midnight-ish or so, somewhere around that time.
I don't know if it's gonna be that late.
It starts at 6, and
like
it'll have 30 minutes of trailers, and it'll be 2 hours. So 6, 7, 8. It'll be 8:30, almost 9 o'clock by the time we get out. 9:30.
Takes 3 hours to get home.
So 10 o'clock, 10:30 our time stream, something like that.
There you go.
Maybe set it for 11 o'clock to have plenty of time.
Yeah, let's do 11 because then you and I can kind of chit chat beforehand.
Yeah. So 11 Mountain, midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern for anybody on Eastern that wants to stay up that late. They'll have been watching it themselves, so they'll be up already. But that's coming. I'm filming. Dude, I'm still upside down and backwards in my videos. There's a lot of stuff that I'm late on, but the setup video for the Oculus Quest 2 is in the can. Just needs to be edited now. The measurement video for the Harbottle M18X, I've got the measurements done. I did the REWs of those, and I just need to sit down and talk about it and film that video. Cherry amplifiers, I'm in the process of filming that one and getting that one done. Oh gosh, and I know there's more. I got to do the floor for the kitchen video because those guys are going to be in to do that work here pretty soon. So I got to get that one done.
Vila.
I know, I can't help it. I'm so good at so many things.
Is Bob Vila even a thing anymore? You know how popular Bob Vila would have been had he been in the YouTube generation. Could you imagine, dude, if Bob Vila, because Bob Vila had a cool show, right? Back in our day, how to DIY shit like that. But imagine if he was in the YouTube generation, he'd be a millionaire.
I think he's probably a millionaire anyway.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think he probably made more money. No,
I think
I don't know.
huge.
Yeah, he's huge. Maybe one day we'll both be super huge too. That would be super cool. All right, tell us about your upcoming content before we call it.
Well, at 9:00 tomorrow morning, I'm releasing the final Phi. So it's going to be the final Pi Phi. I'm going to build for a very, very long time. I'm using the Allo Digi 1. I went all out. I went all expensive. So I'm using Allo Digi 1 with a Raspberry Pi 4 8 gig or 4 gig. I can't remember, but a Raspberry Pi 4 nevertheless. I'm using a case by Allo, and I'm doing direct sound quality comparisons between that, the Hi-Fi Berry Digi 2 Pro, and the Blue Sound Node 2i. So you'll be able to hear my opinion on sound quality comparisons. I'm going to let you guys know kind of how I did it. And I do have other videos out there on how to install Volumio and Rupee and all this other stuff. So I didn't really involve that in this video. I just kind of let you know sound quality wise what to expect and how it performs. So, and I also have the Denafrips Aries 2 DAC that I'm going to be reviewing. I have the Triangle Hi-Fi Bro 9s, which are their brand new floor standards that I'm reviewing. And I'm working on a home theater 5.2 home theater system using Aperion Audio speakers that I will be doing a home theater kind of a home theater discovery video of me discovering my first little baby steps, baby crawls into home theater. So I'm not as well versed as Giles. This is why and by no means am I entering the home theater arena, but it's something I'm passionate about, which is movies and some stuff like that. So I just want to share with you guys my experience with Aperion Audio.
That's cool. And I'm going to do a 5.1 Aperion review at some point after yours, but it's still slated out a little bit farther. So I'm really excited to see your take on these speakers, because I can give everybody the secret behind the scenes on the Aperion stuff. The concert towers with their center channel, dude, it sounds so good.
Yeah, well, actually, guys, you'll be able to see my review. I already have a review out there on the concert towers, the brand new ones, but my review on the concert towers will be live and published soon on stereonet.com. So make sure to stay tuned, because I do write for stereonet.com as a content writer. So tune in for that as well.
Yeah, so good stuff. If you guys haven't checked those guys out, absolutely do it. There are links to them for Mike's stuff, and for my stuff, there's plenty of links out there to get you guys going on Aperion Audio. I've also got that the 5100 from Onkyo that I've got to unbox and review. And
I'm excited to hear your take on that.
Yeah, and eventually I think I'll get the new RZ50 or whatever it is. But they're trying to claw it away from Andrew Robinson. I don't know if he wants to give it up or not.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh,
it's an animal.
There's an animal in here.
Yeah, it looks like he has a seat belt around his neck.
He does. It's a Marvel. It's actually a Marvel collar.
That's
Marvel
funny.
collar.
That's funny.
He just woke up and he just spewed his stuff all over me. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
That's a big dog.
It's a Kanye Corso. It's not a small. Basically it's a
Kanye.
Corso.
There's a brand of dog from Kanye now.
It's an Italian Mastiff, so he's not a small guy.
Yeah, so that's a big beast. All right.
He came to say hi.
It. I think we're out of steam.
Yeah.
Out of steam. I'm tired. All right, folks. With that, we're going to head and call it an evening. Thank you so much for watching the show. Make sure to like and subscribe. Audio Arkitekts and Home Theater Fanatics. We are your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I'm still thinking about changing the channel name to Giles McCoy, the High Tech Lifestyle Channel. I don't know.
You guys are crazy.
I don't know.
All right.
All right.
All right, buddy. I'll call you in a bit.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Take care.
Later. Bye, everyone.